Now with most airsoft guns, the charging handle really serves very little purpose. In the Steyr AUG's case, however, although it doesn't cycle a BB into the chamber, pulling it back does allow you to adjust your hop-up. And one nice thing is that the charging handle does stay locked back. And of course, once the charging handle is back, you'll see what would be the ejection port in the real steel, and in there is the rotary style hop-up adjustment. It's reasonably precise. Again, for its class, it's about average, and it does quite well. One nice thing, of course, is that when the charging handle is back, your hop-up isn't going to get bumped or abused or anything like that. Now, one unique aspect of the Steyr AUG is its ambidextrous ejection port. What that means is, for those of you who are left-handed, all is not lost. You can simply pull off the rubber protector plate on the right side of the gun, put it back on the left side. I'm going to turn this around for you. And of course, when you pull back your cocking lever, there it is. Voila. You've got your same pop-up adjustment right there. So, even if you're not left-handed, you just want it on that side, it's something that you can easily adjust to suit your tastes and your needs. Now we're about to show you one of the most interesting features on the JG Steyr AUG, and that is its takedown. Now, it mimics the real steel almost exactly, but we do have one word of caution. We have heard that actually utilizing this disassembly feature can cause damage to the interior of the gun if it's not done carefully and properly. You want to do it actually as little as possible. Now, it comes apart in three pieces. You have the front barrel assembly, you have the receiver, and then of course you have the frame, which stands by itself. Now we're going to take off the front receiver for you. Now when you're taking off the front barrel assembly, a couple of things to bear in mind. Firstly, to even start the process, you have to push down on this lever. The second part of the process is to actually pull the charging handle all the way back, because it actually has a small nub that will keep the barrel from going anywhere unless it's actually pulled out of the way. You then simply pivot and then slide the barrel all the way out. And when you've done that, you'll actually get a pretty good view of the hop-up and the farthest most portion of the barrel. Now once you've removed the front barrel assembly, the next step is to pull off the receiver. Now remember, we mentioned this small button very close to the magazine well, just forward of it. You can push it really either way, but again, be careful because it can slide all the way out. Once you've either pushed the button out partially, removed it all the way, you're going to grab hold of the rail and pull forward carefully and remove the rest of the mechanism. Now you're just left with the frame of the gun, which houses the mech box and trigger assembly. And there you go. You've fully disassembled your JG Steyr AUG. So you've taken apart your Steyr AUG. How do we get it back together? It's a fairly simple process of reversing the steps that you took when you were pulling everything apart. Take the receiver, slide it back in carefully, all the way. Take the disassembly latch, push it in, make sure your receiver is fully seated, otherwise the button won't go in. Once you've got the receiver on, you want the front barrel assembly back in. And once again, simply reverse your process. Again, making sure to be careful. If you're forcing it, you're doing it wrong, so don't force it. All the way back. Make sure your levers are depressed properly, and it is a little bit of a handful to do until you've gotten the hang of it. There you go. And now your lever's back in place, and you're back in business. Alrighty, you've seen the fit and the finish of the new JG Steyr AUG. Now our opinion of it is actually overall pretty good. You'll see how it performs in the accuracy tests, and generally speaking we consider it to be an above average AEG. The fit and finish is quite smooth, there's very little creaking and squeaking, it feels very solid and very heavy actually. Some people might consider that a detriment, some might like it. There are some flaws but we consider them to be relatively minor. Now, one interesting fact that we stumbled upon by accident is the finish of the gun is actually very sensitive to different types of chemicals, meaning basically don't put mosquito spray on, leave it on your hands, and then touch the gun. It actually seems to eat away at the finish. It actually started to melt in our hands. That was a mistake that we would like you to be able to avoid. One other minor aspect is the foregrip. It is flimsy feeling. We have not had any malfunction with it to date, but this is the basically weakest point on the gun from what we can tell. Overall though, we do like it. There's a lot of metal on it for a gun that's supposed to be mostly polymer based. Flexibility of adjustment on the ejection port is nice. Battery compartment size is fairly small, so you will be limited. That is one other downside. Magazine size is average at 330 rounds. It is a little flimsy, it flops around a bit, but it's not coming out, and that's the most important thing. So overall, we consider it an above average airsoft gun. You can find them for prices ranging anywhere from $115 up to $135, depending on where you get them from. We got ours from AirSplat for $115. It comes with the charger, battery, of course the gun itself, and the iron sights. The scope that you'll see in our firing report is not included.